ECM's simplest and slimmest heat exchanger just got its most exciting update yet. Hi there, Brian here with Whole Latte Love, and next to me here is ECM's Mechanika Slim PID. Stay tuned as I do a full walkthrough of the features available on the Mechanika Slim PID, demonstrate some best practices for workflows, clue you in on a few tips and tricks, and share some results from my performance testing. As always, we're giving this exact machine away, so make sure you pay attention to this review. It definitely will help your chances. Now, if you're not familiar with ECM's previous Mechanika Slim models, this is a heat exchange espresso machine with an E61 group, which means that you can install it with flow control, even though, as you can see, this one doesn't have it. It's also got an externally adjustable OPV up here, so you can adjust the brew pressure of the machine without having to open up the whole housing. The pressure gauges are mounted up high, which I really like, so you've got the steam and the brew pressure right up there, really easy to read. The PID regulated boiler temperatures are controlled via a three-way switch right here on the side. When rocking it forward, it sets the boiler temperature to 248 degrees Fahrenheit with a steam pressure right at 1 bar. This setting is ideal for brewing espresso at lower temps, but really isn't going to give you the power you want for steaming milk. In the middle position, the boiler temp is set to 255 degrees, which sets the steam pressure at 1¼ bar. This setting is a great catch-all that produces brew temps right around 200 and also has enough steam power to froth milk. When rocking the switch back, the boiler temp is set to 262, bumping that steam pressure all the way up to 1.6 bar. I would not recommend brewing on this setting, as though your water is almost always going to be too hot, but the added steam pressure is great for creating near commercial grade steam. Now, it's important to note that the PID display does not constantly display the current temperature of the boiler. Instead, like we just saw, it only shows the boiler temperature when switching between the 3 different settings. It also becomes a shot timer while pulling a shot, which is incredibly useful. It also gives an alert when the water reservoir is low and goes through the active settings during startup. Those settings include automatic pre-infusion and a power-saving eco mode. Now let's go over how to use the Mechanika Slim PID. Now, before I turn on the cameras, I did already pre-grind my espresso and prep my milk because I'm going to be making a cortado, one of my favorite little small drinks. But before I do that, I want pre-infusion to be on for this shot. So let's go over real quick how to turn that on. First thing you're going to want to do is turn off your machine. Then you're going to lift your brew lever. And as you're going to see, the machine is hot, so we're going to get a little bit of steam out of there. So be careful for that if your machine is hot. You're going to want your three-way rocker switch in the center position. And then what you're going to do is turn on the machine, wait for it to show PI, and then rock it forward, and then rock it back again to make it on. And then put the brew lever down to save that change. So, as you can see, it's going to go through the settings. Pre-infusion is on, eco mode is on, and we're set to Fahrenheit. And the current steam temperature is 255, is the setting we're on. It's not necessarily the current temperature, but it is the setting that we're on, which is the middle setting. The best way to tell if you are up to temperature in the middle setting is using the steam gauge. If you see that the steam gauge is somewhere around 1¼ bars, that means that you are up to pressure and ready to brew. However, being that it is a heat exchange espresso machine, you are going to need to do a quick purge, as you saw how hot it was in there. Usually it only takes about 5 to 10 seconds. So what you do is just purge water out of the brew head. So just open that up. You'll see the steam coming out. And obviously, now that I have the pre-infusion on, it's only gonna pump for about 5 seconds and then come back. Once you get a steady flow of water and not really any more steam, that means you've cooled it down enough to brew a good shot. So let's go ahead and tamp our espresso with our included tamper. All right, lock that in there. And as I said, I want to brew and steam at the same time. So I'm gonna get my shot and I'm gonna get that pulling. I'm gonna step over here and start steaming. Looks like a good shot. And once I'm done here, just grab my rag, wipe that off, give it a quick purge, get that out of here. And there's our shot. Looks like we got a good time there. Turn off our timer. I always knock my puck right afterwards because then you get a dirty group head. We don't want that. Well, I like to give it a quick rinse from the group if you've watched any of my other videos. And that's good. So let's get a quick pour on this then. Not too bad. Let me give that a quick sip too. That's all right. Now the first thing I wanted to test on the Mechanika Slim PID is the heat up time. Now, when you initially turn on the machine, the display goes through the active settings like pre-infusion, eco mode, and then displays up, simply meaning that the machine is heating up. Once the up turns off and the display is blank like it is right now, your machine is up to temp and ready to brew. In my testing, that took on average about 16.5 minutes. I also wanted to see how long it took to change from one setting to another. So I put it in the middle and then switched it to the high setting, and that only took 45 seconds to change from 255 to 262 in the steam boiler. Then to bring it back down, I tested it as well, and that took 2 minutes to cool without any sort of purging of the system, which would put it well under a minute if you did it that way. Now, in testing the brew temps on this machine, I do want to mention it is a heat exchange boiler espresso machine, which means that the temps that you're going to get aren't going to be exact ever. And so in talking about this, this is going to be just sort of a range. On the lowest setting with the steam boiler set to 248 degrees, brew temps existed somewhere in the range of 194 to 199 degrees Fahrenheit. And really rarely did you ever need to do a cooling flush to get to that point. In the medium setting, with the boiler set to 255 degrees Fahrenheit, brew temps range somewhere in the range of 199 to 205 degrees, and cooling flushes were necessary. Usually about 5 to 10 seconds is what I was doing to get that range. On the high setting, with the boiler set to 262 degrees, temps were in excess of 205 degrees, all the way up to 210 occasionally, and there was really like almost no amount of cooling flush that could bring those down. I really wouldn't recommend brewing coffee at that range. It's really just for the steam pressure. And speaking of steaming, we did our standard steaming test to find out how long it took 5 ounces of refrigerated milk to reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, on the low setting, that took 28 seconds. On the medium setting, 23 seconds. And on the high setting, 21 seconds. In the box with the Mechanika Slim PID, you'll find the double and single spout weighted angled portafilters, the back flush disc, the double shot and single shot baskets, the stainless steel tamper, and a group cleaning brush.
Now, maybe you notice I'm marking up Brian. He, just welcomed a new baby into his home and is taking some well-deserved paternity leave. Congratulations, Brian. So I'm going to go ahead and take us across the finish line from here. So who is the ECM Mechanika Slim PID for? Well, it's going to be for those with limited counter space at under 10 inches wide. It's going to fit on just about any countertop. It's a machine for espresso enthusiasts, folks who get excited about brewing brewing specialty coffee and need that temperature versatility to do it properly. It's also got an absolutely massive boiler given how slim it is with a 74-ounce capacity. This machine, if you do a lot of milk drinks, can keep up with some high volume steaming. So who's it not for? Well, if you're looking for degree by degree control over your brew temperature, it probably isn't the machine for you. What should you take a look at? Well, if you drink mostly just espresso, the ECM Classica PID is a single boiler machine with extraordinarily precise temperature control, and it's actually a couple of $100 cheaper than the ECM Slim PID here. But if you make lots of milk drinks, you want to be able to brew and steam at the same time, and you don't want to compromise on precise temperature control, have a look at the ECM Mechanika Max. It's going to let you make those degree by degree adjustments to your brew temperature, and it's only a couple $100 more than the Slim PID. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'm Mark again, not Brian, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of the great content or our giveaways. Speaking of which, head on over to the contest page, link down in the description there, for your chance to win this very machine right here, this ECM Mechanika Slim. This is the one you'll get if you win. I hope you were paying attention so you get a better shot at that. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and be sure and come back soon for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.